What's up, world? You are now tuned into the Flexcast. I'm Junior Flexwell, and I have two beautifully brilliant people here with me as usual. I got Bri the Briologist. How you feeling?
Hey, world.
And I got Nubia. Mom, what's going on?
What's up? Ain't nothing going on.
Okay. And we just here checking in with y'all like we normally do every other week, man. I want to remind y'all that you can always join the conversation using hashtag the Flexcast on all social media. Don't be scared to hit that subscribe button. We got a nice little list of subscribers right now. I think we're getting near 100 or something like that. So keep subscribing, man. We look at all of that.
Oh, tell them and click that little bell, the little notification bell.
Turn your notifications on, man. That way, whenever we post content, it goes straight to your phone.
Yes. Be with us every Thursday, every other Thursday.
Also important, if you need to hit us about any business, because that's always fun, you can contact us at theflexcast@gmail.com. So that's direct email contact if you got something you want to holler at us about. Okay. Now that we got all that out the way, we got a good show for y'all, a lot to uncover today. Before we do, though, how's y'all week been since the last time we met? How y'all been? What y'all up to?
I've been good. Was back from Houston with Tomar and the FCs, which is actually my uncle's band. Okay. And they did the Katy Brew Fest, Wild West Brew Fest. It's a beer festival. Okay. And then we did Continental. It was a long weekend, but I'm so sad because I missed your birthday. It's okay.
Yeah, Bri's birthday was lit. Bri's birthday was lit.
Bri had a really good birthday.
I'm so jealous.
I keep telling everybody this was the most conservative birthday I've ever had in my life. My birthday is usually way worse.
That was conservative?
That was conservative.
What?
I mean, I threw a Freaknik birthday party last year.
I forgot Hanover's is lit. I be sleeping on Hanover's because it's way north.
I think it's only on Saturdays, though.
Yes. Well, I thought it was for only old people, or like, people older than us. But I was shocked because they was in there and they couldn't keep up.
Yeah.
It was an older crowd, though. I remember that. It was an older crowd, but still,
it's not bad.
It's not bad. Like it was lit though. I wasn't mad at all. It was very lit.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll pick Hanover.
It's a good spot to watch games too.
Even coordinating having a section there was not as difficult as it is at other places. So that was nice. Bottles were easy. Just they made everything so easy. So shout out to them.
Yeah, noted. Hanover's.
Man, also like I think that like just in terms of just like a place to support that doesn't act funny about us being there. Like I like that they have a kitchen. We had hookah. Like it was a good time, man. It was a good time.
Yes.
And then like the outside area, they got like a whole volleyball, like sand volleyball.
Yeah.
So and they like beach volleyball, that's what they would call it. But yeah, that's pretty dope.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, I'm glad y'all's weeks went good. We're gonna go ahead and get into our taste tests. As always, here on the Flexcast, we're highlighting local food, restaurants, or business services, things like that. Today we are trying Kraving Sweets. And this is a local sweets company. They do cookies, cakes, cupcakes, things of that nature. Today we are trying their sweet infused fruits. And we got a lot of flavors here today. Shout out Cassandra over there. She sent this care package to us.
Yes.
And I'm just looking at all of it and I was like, man, this is a lot, but we're going to try each and every one of them. We all got a flavor of each one. We got some of these are sweet infused pineapples. And so some of these are sweet infused pickles. And so I'm going to read my flavors and then y'all can read y'all's. I have the black cherry, the strawberry, and the peach mango. So that's what I have. I'm going to try those out, give y'all my honest taste test on those. What do you guys have for y'all's flavors?
I have orange Kool-Aid, pineapple Kool-Aid, and spicy green apple pickle.
All right.
Yes. And I have lemon lime, watermelon, and then cherry habanero.
Yeah, Nubia's a daredevil. She going with the habanero. So y'all zoom in on her eyes. I want to see if she start watering. So y'all go ahead, dig in. Let me know what y'all think about each one. Shout out Cassandra again. If you want to follow her business, you can look up Kraving Sweets on Instagram or Facebook. That's Kraving with a K, Kraving, and then Sweets, the word Sweets. Let's go ahead and see what she's working with, man.
The lemon lime tastes like Jell-O, which I like with a little bit of pineapple to it. So that one's good.
The orange one tastes like a Jell-O shot, like an orange Jell-O shot.
Okay.
Orange pineapple is really good.
What'd you try, Junior?
I tried the strawberry.
Do you like it?
I really like it.
Okay. All right.
Let's try this other pineapple.
Matter of fact, man, and so here's another thing. Like, when I'm bringing y'all stuff, like, a lot of times I'm running around doing 2-3 things at once. I wish these would have came straight from the freezer. I bet these are hard, ice cold.
Yeah.
I bet these are hard.
Probably tastes like a baby slushy.
Yeah, real talk. Oh yeah.
The watermelon pickle is the bomb. It's good.
She said that's her best seller.
It is good. I can see why.
Okay. I want to try that one later.
This pineapple Kool-Aid is really good. It tastes like real Kool-Aid. All right, let's see what this spicy
I'm
green
not too
apple.
fond on the black cherry. You know what? I think the black cherry would be live as a pineapple. On the pickle, it tastes kind of weird. I'm not going to lie. It tastes kind of weird on the pickle, but I think it would be lit on a pineapple, though.
She didn't give you no disclaimer about this habanero, or
She
is it a disclaimer?
She just said it's real deal. That's all she said.
The spicy green apple is spicy, but it's not like...
Y'all, my heart over here beating fast.
It's not bad. If it tastes anything like this spicy green apple, you should be okay.
But it's habanero.
You should have ate that one first.
No, I wanted to save it last because if I have a moment, I can
go ahead and do it.
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay. This look like some habanero seed or whatever. I'm gonna take it off because I don't want that. Let's see.
Dun dun dun.
Okay, I can definitely taste the cherry, and it is a little spicy, but it's not too spicy. But it's one of those things where I feel like it does sneak up on you later.
Wait for it.
I was gonna say.
Wait for it.
Habanero takes
because
time.
I kind of want to eat the rest of it because the flavors they go well together with this pickle. So I'm gonna eat the rest of it, and we shall see.
All right.
I'm scared to eat the rest of this green apple pickle
Because
it had a kick to it. It wasn't too bad.
This tastes so good.
I feel like this would go great with as a side dessert to like a meal or something like that.
I would eat this with popcorn.
I love it. And yeah, I'm chewing in the microphone for all y'all people complaining about it.
It reminds me of like
the ones that are not complaining about it.
I'm that person.
They are the ASMR.
The one that's loving it. Yeah, it's got a kick to it. It hit the back of my tongue.
Okay.
It tastes like a good sweet East Side Story pickle or something.
And I just want to put y'all on game. Like, this is like a third of the flavor. She sent me her whole flavor list. This is like a third of them. She be mixing stuff that you would never think of. So if you ever get a chance, search Kraving Sweets. I know that she's real big here in Austin. If you're listening from somewhere else, hit her up. You might be able to get her to ship you something. I don't know how that's all working right now, but I know that she's hustling. And shout out entrepreneurs, man. Because I think to some degree, we all got some idea we trying to get off the ground.
Exactly.
I really salute her for being on top of that. So shout out Cassandra. I'm rocking with what you sent us. I like it.
I love it.
It was pretty good.
I would suggest one thing. Let's add a little bit more habanero into that.
What?
That cherry. Yeah.
It wasn't enough?
It wasn't enough. It gave me a little bit. I was nervous at first, but it's good.
And the pineapple one is good, but you could always add a little vodka to it. That would make that way better. It's good already, but a little pineapple flavored vodka with it infused.
I bet she got that.
Hit a little harder.
Got that
she
on
probably
the
got
menu.
an adult.
I bet she got that on the menu.
We need the grown up list then.
I bet she got that on the menu somewhere. I might have to hit her up for another batch, and we can double that in with something else we try in a week or two.
I bet if you eat them a lot, your poop probably change colors. For real, dog food does that. Go home and eat a few of those. Let us know next time. It's a valid thought.
Hey,
It is. I will not take that away from you, but he was not ready.
Hey. Hashtag no filter, as y'all say.
No filter today.
So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get into the show, man. We like to go from talking about local food to local news. That's city and state.
Yes.
So let's go ahead and get it started, man.
All right. Let's get it. I'm going to kick it off.
Let's go.
All right, y'all. So let me know how y'all feel about this. A mother in Houston, Texas was trying to enroll her daughter into high school. I think it was Madison High. Okay. Yeah, James Madison High School. And they would not enroll her daughter simply because of how she was dressed. Okay. So they have now, the mother had demanded, I need to see the parent dress code. Which they probably didn't technically have one in place.
Why would you need one?
At some point in time, too much is too much. So
she was probably bad.
What did she have on?
I saw the picture of her. She was a very lovely woman.
See?
Okay.
Be the bad
but
ones
they have enforced a parent dress code, which states that they are, while on the school grounds, they are not to wear pajamas, revealing clothing, leggings, sagging pants, low riders, shorts, short dresses, low cut tops, and then get this, hair satins, hair
the bonnets.
Can't
wear bonnets.
I don't know anybody that wears shower cap out in public.
I do.
Okay, well,
that last part is kind of specific.
But the principal of this school, she's black, so she knew what was up. So. I mean, me personally, I kind of like the parent dress code, just because when I was in high school, I was tired of seeing parents coming up there looking a mess, looking like they literally just rolled out of bed. You should teach your child to dress for success, no matter the time you're leaving the house or wherever it is that you're going. So me personally, I like the parent dress code.
Yeah.
What you think? How you feel?
I agree with you. I mean, everybody these days, not even these days, because in our younger years, I remember parents coming up to the school with their bonnets on or their moo shower coat when their kids in trouble.
Coat with the button that always.
Yeah,
and it's
one bucket missing,
embarrassing.
and it's embarrassing, and you're setting a standard for your child. You're teaching your child that it's okay to just get up one day and go to the store in pajamas, and that shit is not cool.
No,
it's so tacky, it's so ratchet, it's so ghetto.
Yes.
Put some clothes on. We don't want to see your nipples at the store.
We don't.
We do not want to see
these things. We don't want to see it.
I do.
Okay, well, Junior and his own bonnets over there.
Hey, if y'all got a hot mama who want to wear the one jacket around me, please.
But that's the problem. It's not the hot mamas that's wearing it.
Exactly.
That's why I said
the big mamas.
I'm just joking.
And it's not that they can't even be big and sexy, but just dress appropriately. You're coming up to the school to represent your child, to represent your brand. You can always tell how they raised at home by the way their mama came up there and dressed at the school.
I agree. Yeah. I agree. Certain things are not appropriate.
No.
I agree.
Yeah. So I'm all for the parent dress code.
For sure. Do y'all think that? I mean, since we're keeping it on school-related things, do y'all think that if that information is not public, then the school kind of opens itself up for parents coming up there however they want to? Because I think she asked to see the dress code because she knew there wasn't one.
Yeah.
That's not a weird thing for a school not to, like, why would you need?
That's what my thought was. Why do you even need one? The fact that you need that type of rule in place is problematic.
If you don't have one though, then you're kind of saying that we don't have a standard.
Yeah. No, exactly.
So then you can't.
Because I don't know
can
if
you
y'all
really
saw,
complain?
So you can't complain.
I'm
That's
not
what
sure
this is
if y'all
about.
saw the picture of the mom and what it was that she was wearing. She had on a
hair tie or something?
Like a hair tie, and then she had on a t-shirt dress. And in some cases, I'm not about to play with you.
I like those. I remember those. I ain't seen a t-shirt dress in a minute.
But in
she
some
probably
cases,
like what, early 30s, mid 30s?
Yeah, probably. But I guess depending on the height of a woman, the t-shirt dress tends to look somewhat inappropriate. And I saw it, and no disrespect to you, mama, but I would not, I wouldn't want my mom to come up to school in that, trying to enroll me into school too.
You could have enrolled me at home online in that outfit.
But it's different if you was coming to pick me up because I was sick or something.
Stay
but
you're
enrolling me into school.
Staying in the
so
car.
let's dress approprially, parents.
I feel that. We're gonna keep it. We're gonna keep it on schools. There's actually an AISD principal right now that is under investigation, and she's under investigation for discrimination grievances that have been made against her. She has reportedly denied undocumented parents from attending school trips, as well as removed suspected ones from the PTA. It's also alleged that she has prevented students from using Spanish in her school.
Wow.
Now, when I read when I read this, when you automatically hear those details, what do you assume the race of the principal to be?
She's white.
What do you assume?
Hispanic? No.
Wow.
I mean, that's my first thought.
Why? Why is that your first thought?
There was no logic behind that.
Just first.
My first thought is she's got to be Hispanic or white.
This is a white lady, but she's Hispanic.
That is so crazy.
Her name is Principal. Yeah, her name is Principal Soto, and she's I was like I'm reading the article and I'm like, dang, this sounds like an old white lady,
right?
And she's actually Hispanic, and she has officially been put on administrative leave from her job for these grievances that have been made against her, and they are from more than one person, so it's not like this is a repeated person trying to tap her on the shoulder, and it's a known thing at the school. I read a couple of people that they spoke to from the school that allege these things about her, and I just thought that's crazy. Like, how are you doing this to your own people? Like,
it's ironic that Hispanic women, when they get a position of power, they tend to forget about their Hispanic culture. They seem to forget about their heritage. They tend to pass off as a little bit more like a white supremacist or like a white quote unquote Hispanic.
Okay.
I was gonna ask, like, is it something that she took upon herself, or was it an instruction from someone higher up?
That's a good question. I mean, like, I don't know how school hierarchy works, but I know that a lot of times the principal might be like the face for something, but they don't necessarily.
The superintendent,
but she's taking
the board.
she's taking it on herself to actually be the enforcer. Like, to tell a kid that like you don't use Spanish is crazy. Like,
as an educator, that's crazy.
And like, I could see if it was like a kid. I could see if it was like a teacher telling a kid, like, in my class we speak English. That's different, like academically.
Yes,
but I mean, no, I could see that. I've had classes where students, like an English class, where a teacher will tell a kid who's speaking a foreign language, like, okay, we're learning English, so I need you to be able to write, speak, and read English, you know, that kind of thing. But this doesn't seem like it was of that nature. It seems like it was just highly discriminatory, and I mean, apparently enough people spoke. They don't relieve principals for nothing. Like, principals hold their job unless they do something insanely.
Somebody comes shoot up the school and they knew about it.
Or like something outrageous. So
that's where it's like reverse racism happening.
It was crazy to me that she was Hispanic. That blew me away. I was like, man, that's crazy.
First thought.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well,
I'm gonna say,
all right,
well,
then.
Since
This is so
we'll see how that goes, man. Right now she's on administrative leave. Nothing has actually she hasn't been convicted of anything. These are just grievances. So we'll see what happens from there. Yeah, absolutely.
Hopefully they do a good thorough investigation and she changes instead of losing her job.
They have to, because that would go on her record, and then
there needs to be consequences for stuff like this, and not letting people just get a slap on the wrist and then continue to keep doing it. Like, it's ridiculous.
True. Well, then. With that being said, more Austin news. It seems like traffic here has been crazy, but also the driving has been even worse. There was a hit and run that happened this weekend at the Domain, our most classiest place to be. And a teenager was struck. 2 days prior, a person was hit and run and died, deceased. Car just kept going. My first thought when I was reading this news, I was like, dang, what if there's like a serial hit and runner?
A serial hit and runner.
Serial hit and runner going around. But then again,
that'd be nuts.
Thinking about the way traffic and stuff is now, everything is so small here.
Domain though? Wait, hold on. Don't they block the Domain? Was this nighttime or daytime?
It didn't say.
It didn't say?
My thought would be it was nighttime because it's not a well-lit area at night. But then again, people there, it's like the mall. You walk wherever you want to walk. No one's looking both ways.
Right. Yeah. I could see it happening in the Domain. I could see that.
Yeah.
But running is not like, if you hear somebody, okay, it happened, handle your business. But once you run, it escalates. It's like, oh,
yeah. I'm telling you, I told y'all I had a dream about that afterwards. A girl slapped my car, and I was like, skirt, like, don't hit my goddamn car. You don't hit Breezy. And then I felt bad for her. I was like, why did I read this news? Because now I'm having road rage.
Hey, drive safe, man. Austin is growing. They say it's the fastest growing city in the country. Certain streets are becoming walkways. Drive safe, man.
Don't
wherever you
move
at.
here.
Please.
We don't need nobody else. We're good.
It's
We're
happening,
good.
man.
True. You know what they should do? They should do a driving class for everybody that's getting in all these wrecks and make them learn.
They really do, because a lot of people are coming from...
I will say, downtown, the way the streets go from one way to two way, like at the snap of a button, that has to be fixed in the near future. Like, I know that's going to confuse a lot of people. I live here, and it confuses me sometimes. Like, there's some streets halfway down the street, it turns into a one-way. Yep. If you don't turn off, you going into
the
traffic.
opposite direction, just rolling. Like, why all the cars facing a different direction?
And they looking at you like, idiot.
Right.
But,
well, talking more about Austin, of course, because we're an Austin podcast.
Yeah.
So the ACL lineup has definitely been announced.
Yeah.
And I am definitely really excited. There's going to be some big names hitting the stage. And for those that don't know, ACL is going to be in October. It's a 2-weekend type deal. The 4th through the 6th and the 11th through the 13th at Zilker Park. Hitting the stage, they have Cardi B, Guns N' Roses.
I like Guns N'
Roses.
Childish Gambino.
Who should have been there last year, but we're gonna forgive you. We're gonna forgive you, big homie. Just make sure you make it this year, because I'm buying a ticket for that reason.
We have this. I don't know if y'all ever listened to her. Name is Lizzo.
Oh, she's dope.
She's dope.
She flashed across, her album got like a big girl on the front, a naked big girl.
Yeah, that's her.
Yo, I was like,
she is very body. That's her body. She is very body
so it wasn't
positive.
Artwork. That was
That's her.
I was like, yo, that's the
cool.
sexiest big woman I'm
gonna have to go look at this.
Yeah, she's really dope. She's really dope. And then some of our own actual locals, Gary Clark Jr. He's gonna be performing. And I think another one of our locals, the Peterson brothers, they actually are on tour with him and they open up for him. So y'all definitely have to check them out too. And then another one that I've been knowing since I was a little girl, Alicia Lonnie.
Big homie Lonnie.
She's gonna be performing as well. So y'all definitely have to check her out. Support the local artists here in Austin, including myself if I have some shows going on.
Hey.
I'll go.
It's definitely.
Y'all wanna know a fun fact about Lonnie?
What's up?
She's actually the person that started twisting my hair.
Seriously?
That's actually pretty cool.
That would make sense though, because her husband had dreads at one point.
Yo, so I got a story to tell.
Okay.
All right, so I was at a show. This is like 2012-ish. I was at a show and I seen P, Lonnie's hubby.
Yeah.
I seen P, and I was like, yo, who do your hair? Your shit is hard, my nigga. And he was like, yo, my girl does my hair. He's like, you can holler at her. I was like, all right, bet. So got the info. She told me, yeah, like I do hair. So I came over. My hair used to be afro. I had an afro before I had locks. And she was like 8.5 months pregnant.
Oh dang!
She still like got on the floor, sat on my. I got on the floor. She sat and she twisted my hair, and then like from there, like my other dude started twisting it. But yeah, she actually started my locks. And like,
wow. Did it hurt the first time?
It did. I'm not gonna lie, it was tight, but that means she did a good job.
Hey,
so.
now, well, shout out to her.
Look at I'm
the foundation.
My shit
It's all about the
flourishing, you know what I'm
foundation.
saying? But yeah.
Hands was blessed when she touched
she knew what she was doing.
Shout out Lonnie, man. I'm
Yes.
definitely looking forward to seeing you kill that. Shout out any locals making it to ACL. That's not that's a hard stage to get onto.
It
man.
definitely is.
Shout out y'all for real.
Yeah. So with ACL and bands and everything, they are now doing they're testing out a new thing for tipping local bands here in Austin.
Okay.
A way to really increase their revenue, for some people that are working multiple jobs and stuff. But it's called Dip Jar. And it is a way for when you're out, performing. This happened to me several times where people be like, oh, I wish I could tip you, but I only have a credit card. So they have this thing called Dip Jar, and you can literally swipe your card and then I think the artist does set the amount of the tip, and rather than the person being able to, I want to give you this much or whatever, they just swipe from there. So they're actually going to test it on 10 local bands here in Austin, Texas.
Okay,
that's cool.
And for those listening, applications open up May 1st. And the deadline to apply is May 31st.
Okay.
They will announce those 10 local artists or bands June 14th, and then July 1st will be the first, tester. And I think it's all the way up until November or something of the sort. So
they're running like a beta. They're only going to give this technology to
certain
people.
Okay.
And then after that, the whole program and everything is over and they've run its course and stuff, you get to keep the device.
Oh,
that's cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think it's really dope just because I've been in the situation before and people are like, oh, I wish I could tip you. But those who are really dedicated, they go to an ATM and then
give me a watch.
But then there's other artists that are like, nah, I don't need that. I'll use PayPal, Venmo, Cash App. Or Apple Pay, whatever. You have a lot of different other avenues to go, but I think the Dip Jar thing is pretty dope. So.
I wonder how safe will it be with cards, because not all artists, but some of them are low-key scammers.
Yeah,
see, I don't want to swipe my card and then...
It says that it was Wi-Fi enabled.
Okay.
So it doesn't store any information or anything of that sort. So I just don't know if it goes through a third party and somebody gets a piece of something before it actually goes to you, but I think it's pretty cool.
I think it's pretty cool, too.
Yeah, anything to empower musicians, man.
Yeah.
Let's give it a shot and work out the kinks.
Yeah,
for sure.
Definitely.
Using new technology to bring it forward. Hey.
Exactly. I think it's dope, and y'all need to go and apply for it.
Keep it on music news, man.
Right.
All right. What? I'm like, what?
This actually, I think this covers more than just music. I think this kind of opens a more broad conversation. You had the piece on Bun B.
Yes. He had an attempted robbery, home invasion, and
attempted is the perfect word.
Attempted
Not
because he was not successful.
He didn't take shit but a chance.
Yeah, that and he literally left his own gun behind that he had.
Idiot.
Like, how the hell do you do that?
You're not good at what you were doing anyway.
No, but his wife was saying that she, thought that somebody was delivering something or something of the sort. And so she said when she opened up the door, she was looking down instead of looking up. And that's when he kind of was able to come in, and she said he had the gun on her like the entire time. And I guess she was yelling to Bun, telling him, don't come downstairs, giving him a chance to basically find the gun.
She an OG.
Yeah. And I was listening to her telling the story. She was like, I just wanted to protect him at that point in time because I knew that he would.
Oh, that's real.
That's some real love, isn't it? Isn't it? That's beautiful.
That's real.
But Bun B definitely said that he was on the toilet while this.
Oh my gosh.
Whoa.
That's awkward.
He said that when he was shooting at boy, that the guy eventually got her keys. She said, hey, my keys are in my car in the garage. He goes and he tries to get into the car, the Audi. For those.
So she offered her car.
Yes, she offered her car because she couldn't really do anything else.
He could have just took. He should have just took
the Audi.
That
was better than leaving with nothing.
He should have just took off.
But Bun came down and he was firing at him. I think he said they hit him in his left shoulder.
Oh man!
But while all of this was happening, I was informed that he didn't have no drawers on.
Ew!
He was on
Ass
the toilet.
wasn't wiped or nothing. He was on there with a shitty booty shooting at somebody.
So now you're sitting in jail with a bullet hole and the image of Bun with no drawers on.
Yes.
That's what you get, homie.
Right.
Hey, let me tell you something, real talk. If you're jacking in Texas, if that's your business, if that's how you...
That dude ain't even from Texas. He's from Arizona.
No, but I'm just saying, if you jacking in Texas, it's not going to be... You're not going to have a long run, man.
No.
We
come across
gun laws
person.
are not very strict here. Most people have one in their home or in their vehicle.
Very true.
So I would advise you to find something else to do with your time. And that's for out-of-towners and in-towners. I don't know which camera I'm looking at, but
all of them.
I had friends that had short careers in jacking, and they found out very quickly that
and that's bad karma.
You don't do that around here.
It really is.
You live your life that way, that always comes back on you 10 times better. And then
he thinking it probably came back now because he got shot in the shoulder now.
No, but he finna sit in jail.
Yeah. So did they catch him? They caught the guy?
Yeah,
they went to a hospital. They went to a hospital and got him. Yeah.
Was he a black man?
Yeah, he's black.
Unfortunately.
How sad.
Man, and they was cracking on him because his nostrils were so huge and his
that was a terrible crack.
Now I gotta go see the picture.
Hey,
it was bad.
I'm honestly, I think that Texas is one of those states that if you because I think even in Texas, your car is considered an extension of your home, right?
It is considered an extension of your home.
So running up on somebody's home, running up on somebody's property, period. Like,
bang,
it's super dangerous for you, man.
It's super stupid.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, and it sucks that he came out of it with nothing. How you were the dumbest criminal.
Hey, Bun said he made him take the mask. Hey, Bun. Hey, shout out rappers who do what they rap about. Bun said Bun said he ran down on him and made him take the mask off. That's crazy.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Because he said if he knew him, he was going to kill him.
Okay, well.
And he said he shoots. He goes to the shooting range every now and then. He said he don't ever miss. But he said God must have been in that garage with him when he was shooting at him.
Because his winky was swinging one way while his body parts, he was naked. I mean, that's why. You can't shoot good butt naked. At least bottom naked. No, I don't believe it.
Well.
Hey, keeping it on music news.
Right.
So Jay-Z reopened legendary Webster Hall with an intimate B-sides performance. This was actually something that I was very happy to be able. I didn't go, but I tuned in. I streamed it. I have Tidal, so I was able to stream it through Tidal. And one of the highlights of the night, he had a tribute to the late Nipsey Hussle with an a cappella verse about continuing the work that Nipsey was doing. A lot of people were confused by what he said, and I just wanted to talk about it for a quick second. He had a line about gentrifying your own neighborhood before other people do it.
Yes.
And I think here we know what he meant.
Yeah.
Like, we know he didn't literally mean to gentrify your neighborhood.
Yeah.
But just speaking to people who have wealth and are able to influx change in their neighborhoods, like how to go about it, like buy property, own things, don't make it to where if somebody wants to come take up space where you live, they have to go through people in the community who have the community's interest. And I think here in Austin, gentrification is something that we're like, if not in any other generation, our generation has probably seen the most turn with it.
Yeah.
Like, our parents probably saw a little bit of it.
Yeah.
But then, like, if you were born, like, in the 90s,
Yeah.
you as in your formative years to an adult, if you were born in Austin and you've been around to see its change, you've probably seen the most change. I think that would be an accurate way to say it. And I mean, I think that it's a great message. I don't know. I would love to see if there's like an index of wealthy minorities from Austin or that live in Austin that care about that community in Austin. But I think it's relevant, man. It's really relevant.
Yeah, it is.
I don't know. Like,
I mean, because if you just go on the other side of 35 and 6th and 7th and all of that over there, Chacon.
Don't look the same.
My
it doesn't
dad,
look
every
the same
time we
at
ride
all,
through there, he's like, you could not. There were, and I'm not trying to be funny or anything. White people,
big
not
facts.
ride their bikes down the street, up and down the street, walking the dogs in the little yoga pants and all. They could not do that.
Yeah.
So like, it's happening here in our own backyard. My house, my childhood home that I grew up in, gone.
Man, on 12th and Navasota, that's where, for the longest time, so me, my dad, my little brother, we all used to go to the same barber on 12th and Navasota. It was called Green's Barbershop.
Yep.
And so, like, for a long time, I'd probably say like 10, 15 years, that's where we went to get our haircut. It looks nothing like it used to look.
No.
Like, and not only that, but like just to the comment you said about like white people, not only that they weren't around, but like it was hard pressed to see a white person around that area.
Yeah.
I remember we would go to that block and like, we would go to the store, the cashier was black. People loading the truck was black. The barbers was black. The person who ran the restaurant across the street, black. Hispanic lady on the corner, like that, the person who owned the liquor store, Hispanic lady. Asian lady ran another store down the, like, it was such a minority infused area, and now, like, it doesn't look anything like that, like, at all. And so, I think it's a real message, like, Lord willing, everybody in this room get to some wealth, help your community, the things you care about, the people you care about. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that's important, and I was glad to hear Jay-Z speak about it because, of course, he's wealthy, but a lot of times wealthy people don't really care about stuff like that.
That's true.
Yeah, they just, they're so busy thinking, okay, I need to get out and
they're not trying to
just
come
worry
back.
about me. But I feel like it's your duty to come back and to give back and to educate and to uplift and to, I feel like it's your duty, but
man, I was so happy to hear him speak about it. Also, I knew that he had supported Nipsey in terms of like supporting his art, but to hear that he was like familiar with his message and all the actual things that he was doing in his community, that was a good thing to hear from Jay, because I feel like right now rap is in a place where like we're in an era where like rappers are getting older, and it's good to see it because rappers used to die in their 20s and 30s. Like the mainstream artists, the Biggies, the Pacs, the Puns, they used to die in their 20s and 30s.
Didn't make
and
it
now we got artists that are in their 40s and 50s that are still relevant. And I even think Drake is in his 30s. So, like, we have big rappers that are making it out of their 20s. And now I want to hear, like, what's your adult message? Okay, I get it. You partied for 10 years. But now you're an adult. What's your message?
You have to bring to the table.
Should be changing at some point.
Exactly.
Like, rap is definitely becoming a little bit more political.
Oh, yeah.
And it's a big conversation piece. Like, it's informing a lot of people.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, like, that's how it was back in the day when they, they would always, it was something that was important, a message being put into a song. So I feel like we need to get back to that.
Absolutely.
I agree.
I think everybody's done popping bottles and, twerking and all of that. Like, I mean, there is a time and a place for that.
It's
but right now,
the
state of the emergency that we're in right now, let's let our music heal our souls and
heal our people.
Yes, and inform us, because music is the universal language of the world. True. Everybody understands it.
Agreed.
So,
100%.
Get it popping.
Wow.
Hey,
that spoke volumes.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to keep it on music, man.
Yes, keep it
real quick on Remy.
Quick on Remy.
What
I love Remy.
What y'all got on Remy? Because, I mean, it's not something we ain't heard before.
Yeah.
Like,
well,
this is Remy, man. Like,
look, we're going to look at it from a different point of view. So for all our listeners out there and the people watching, we all know Remy Ma did a little walkthrough. She was arrested for an alleged underline assault to her love in hip hop. Should we call her a castmate? She was kind of a castmate, kind of not really.
That's y'all show.
Whatever she was. I've heard multiple different stories. I mean, the first one I saw that popped up was saying that Remy Ma was out with her son and the new baby, and Brittany was reaching for the baby and kept overstepping her boundaries, and she asked her to step back multiple times, and she didn't. But that story wasn't confirmed. But
if that's
after
true,
being told to back up multiple times, she got popped.
Okay.
Bop. One good time. Sometimes you got to bump them, like my nephew say, boom. Sometimes you got to get them. But the whole thing is stirring up a conversation about bullying. Is Remy Ma a bully, or what is a person's limit? Even a person to be as powerful as Remy Ma is seen is a person being seen as strong as she is for the female population. When is enough?
Right.
I mean
if to me, one eye jammy ain't bullying. If you was
agree.
protecting your,
that's assuming that was
protecting
true.
your family,
people don't understand how to stop trying to infiltrate somebody's personal space.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Like, stay out of my face. If I'm warning you, I'm gonna give you
away.
it 2 times, and that 3rd time it's gonna come out, but I'm gonna hit you. Like, stay out my space.
That's not bullying, but
It's not.
I don't think it's bullying at all.
Protecting yourself. but you
Protecting
need to-
her, I mean, a small infant child, but I was also thinking about it this way too. Remy Ma being as strong as she is, and Remy Ma, you are amazing, but you have way more to lose than a little girl that has not a pot to piss in.
At some point, you kind of have to learn how to
just walk away.
Right.
But I mean, maybe she was just letting her know, look, this is your warning with the black eye.
Okay.
Well, then she gets on, and now they're saying she begging for money, like it's a publicity stunt.
Yeah,
she's
yeah,
trying to get fame.
I
And
mean-
this is what you caused from. If you would have walked away, we wouldn't even know her name.
If somebody who's not in that lane gets popped, gets hit, yeah, they're gonna try to milk it.
Milking it hard. Her mom, who she said had nothing to do with her in her life, then came out and made a statement. Remy's people are saying this is it's a baseless case.
They want to check. Yeah, that's cool.
So it.
Girl needs to know that her
they want a Honda Accord, Nissan Sentra.
Girl,
Get the little 10K, 15K. You know what I'm saying?
Girl needs to know that her reality TV career, whatever you want to call it, it's over. It's done
is,
with.
but Remy should have walked away and shouldn't even gave her no highlight.
In this era,
just
that
gave her
might
highlight.
get her
Exactly.
That might get her a spinoff or something. You know what I'm saying?
I don't find her interesting.
The girl
she
who
ain't
Remy
interesting.
punched,
She ain't cute.
She's not original. She's not original. She's not attractive.
Yeah,
No,
they want to hear from her.
and she like 2 feet tall.
She looked dusty.
None of that is relevant though. The fact that she got punched by Remy, they want to know about it.
Why would you want to be known? Hey, I got punched by Remy.
Not that you want to be known by that, but
she's gonna be known as
if
an
somebody
instigator.
give you a check to talk about it, most people
Okay, but it's only
take
gonna
it.
last
I think
for
it's
so
like
long.
15 minutes of fame.
Yeah, that
Exactly.
that
Because
kind of
she's
thing.
not worth my time.
Yeah.
Thought I don't even want to look it up.
She's canceled.
No, that wasn't.
She's been flexed out.
That definitely wasn't bullying, but I want to touch on the Kashala.
Kashala,
The
yes.
Kashala girl that you were talking about.
there-
That feels like bullying.
That was definitely bullying.
She got jumped or something like that?
She got jumped by 2 girls.
Oh, wow.
She's in this little girl's in middle school, 13 years old.
Okay.
She got jumped by 2 girls, and then a 3rd girl jumped in and they kicked her.
Oh.
She kicked her in the back of her head.
Okay.
When the little girl, she went home, she tells her mom, this is X, Y, and Z happened. And at one point, her mother said that she became disoriented, and they went and took her to the hospital. They ran a whole bunch of tests and scans, and they found a tumor in the back of her head.
From where that little girl kicked her.
Yes, but the only thing is, it wasn't stated if the tumor was there prior to or because of. But either way it goes, this little girl was at one point on life support, and now she's passed away.
That's horrible.
13 years old.
That's terrible, man.
13.
Hey, I think like in that case, I feel like because it was off campus, right?
I'm not sure. I'm
I
not
think
sure
I read
about
that.
that
I think I
part.
read that it was off campus. The school was notified, but it didn't happen at school.
But certain things
So-
that happen off campus are still the school's
Right.
responsibility.
So, man, that's a tough one.
I mean, my first thought when I had seen it was, what did this little girl do deserve to get an ass whooped? Because sometimes a
Exactly.
one-on-one is permittable, but did she deserve to get kicked in her head? No. She
But
couldn't have
that's
done
the
nothing
thing,
that
like,
bad.
These kids nowadays, they do not honor the whole one-on-one.
There's no code. There's no codes.
No.
It's
There's no
like,
codes.
well, we jumped her. Some
Yeah.
people are so proud to be like, we jumped
Lacking
her, we beat
remorse.
her up. Look at her, look at how bad she,
Yeah.
or even him for
Yeah.
that matter. But they need to, if you gonna fight it out, do it fair. Be fair.
Everything is so based on like social media and like viral moments that people
Yes.
don't
'Cause
even
they wanna go big.
Yeah, people don't even
World star.
people just want to get something on camera. They don't even want to shoot the fair one or anything. Like I understand if you I shot the fade when I was in school. That happened a couple times. Like if it's gotta happen, if it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. But come on, man. Like you really think you get stripes for jumping somebody? Like that's crazy.
And get
Y'all
some cool
still-
points. 15 seconds of fame makes them really popular on social media. I mean, look at the little Catch Me Outside girl. She didn't know that little snippet would turn her life into this.
Too, by the way.
Man,
Hey,
I think
she ain't that bad of a rapper though.
I think
She cool.
She's
I
just
think that-
too young.
I think that also, like, I know we were talking about mental health. This kind of ties into that conversation. Like, the mental health of kids at that age is in a very formative state.
Oh, yeah.
So something like that can really derail you mentally.
Social media has influenced a lot of these kids.
Oh, yes.
Big time. Like, there are kids literally growing up with their lives just on the internet.
Yeah,
like, everything,
absolutely.
you have to have so many likes and so many followers, and everybody, you want to be the popular all the time.
Social media is a part of their identity. It's who they identify as.
Yes.
That determines who you are.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So I would like to know, the reason why she was jumped.
Do you think those girls get...
They need to be punished.
Are they being punished? Because they should.
They need to be punished, and I feel like the parents
to what degree?
should probably take some...
To what degree?
I mean, is manslaughter too far for a 13-year-old?
Like a fighting punishment, or like a...
she died.
Like a result of what happened?
She died.
This little girl died.
Okay.
She
but
lost her whole life.
They're also minors.
So maybe manslaughter for children.
So you think they should use jail time?
Lock them up in baby juvie.
They need to do something because...
Well, yeah,
you need to know
they need to learn.
Something
there are
for sure.
consequences for your actions.
Because if you pat them on their back for this, imagine what they'll do the next time.
Exactly. They could be
Deter
little
that
baby
now.
killers.
Yes.
That's
We don't
fair.
need no more of them.
That's fair.
Yes.
That's fair. Yeah, and
I have a niece around that age. I'm telling you, I will go up to the school. I couldn't do nothing.
I seen Nubia fight a kid before. It's the most precious video. She was fighting some little boy. Nubia had the hands on him. I seen it.
I think I know which video you're talking about. I was
exactly
like, come on, square up. I fight kids, okay? It's not a problem. It's not a problem.
Nah, man, I mean, honestly, at that point, when you've taken somebody's family member, I don't think there's anything off the table. Like, somebody will probably put their hands on you. Like, it's terrible, but it's definitely a part of that mental health conversation. May is Mental Health Awareness Month.
Yes, it is.
We'll, we have topics that tie into that, and I definitely think this is one of them. Like, these kind of things affect the mental health of kids, and hopefully it's something that, as more attention is brought to it, it'll slowly decrease. I know there's always going to be tension when you have a bunch of 13, 14, 15-year-olds in one building for 8 hours a day. I know there's always going to be tension, but
they don't think well at that age.
I think, like, seeing something taken to this extent, it's kind of like a reality check for everybody. Okay, like, we don't have to fight. Like, we can do other things.
Y'all, let's talk about it. Yeah. I mean, I know a lot of people don't want to talk, but I'm a good talker.
Okay.
Like, we could talk about it, but if you want to take it there, let's be fair about it.
Yeah.
Let's just be fair.
Yeah. Well, with that being in mind, June already said it. May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and I think there's been a lot of discussion around Black mental health, Black mental illness. I mean, 16% of people that have been diagnosed with mental illness have been Black.
Okay.
And I feel like now we have a lot of conversation around mental illness. Growing up, no one talked about depression or anxiety. Hell, no one talked about schizophrenia. Black people don't believe in ADHD. We have our own stereotypes and stigmas that we believe in, which leads us to not report or not seek treatment. And then it's also a lack of knowledge, not knowing what's out there and not knowing the benefit of what treatment can really do for you. Yeah. I was looking into Taraji P. Henson's foundation that she started for her dad, the Boris Henson, whatever foundation. And I thought that was really interesting because I never understood actually what her foundation for her dad did. So for those of y'all that don't know,
that was my next question.
She provides, the foundation provides scholarships to people studying mental health focused majors in college, which I thought that was great. How many people do you meet that actually go to college and actually study that? Of course, everybody thinks psychology, but that's not the only option. Yeah. There's so many different majors and degrees that will leave you in debt once you leave.
Absolutely.
But they also help provide resources to people as well.
Is her dad diagnosed with something?
Bipolar disorder, to my understanding. Yes. So my question to you guys is, what celebrities do y'all know that are diagnosed with a mental health disorder? Do y'all know any?
You don't ever know. Actually, you don't ever know until you hear about them actually passing away and
Chief
dealing
Keef.
with all kind of
what
stuff.
He got?
Chief Keef,
he's what?
He's diagnosed with Asperger's.
That makes sense. He do seem like he on the spectrum a little bit. Asperger's, so for those of y'all who don't know, Asperger's is a high-functioning type of autism. It's on the spectrum.
I'm laughing because when I think about it now,
she said it, though.
When I think about it, with the way his music is very like minimal, it's very kind of like tap and go.
Yeah.
And so
to the point now.
Yeah. I can see that.
Anyone else y'all can think of?
I read that he's diagnosed with Asperger's.
That's funny. Yes. Well, everyone knows Mariah Carey's bipolar.
I didn't know that.
Raven Simone was diagnosed with depression. Eve was diagnosed with depression.
Yeah.
Wow.
Michelle Williams fights
I know
depression.
Jennifer Lewis had
bipolar
Now that you're saying
disorder.
all of them, it's like, okay,
Kanye West
yes.
was diagnosed bipolar. Like it's a common thing.
He was
it
officially
happens.
diagnosed, not just Hollywood.
He was
I
getting
think he
treated
was,
for it, so we're gonna say that's
publicly
the
diagnosed.
right.
Yeah, something like
Well,
that.
look, I did my research and it said bipolar was the treatments. That's the meds he was getting for it. We're gonna go with the treat and diagnosis at this point.
Man, shout out to everybody who's addressing their mental health and making sure that it's something that you keep at the forefront of your focus. It's so easy to neglect it.
Heck yeah.
It's so easy. Life is so busy.
Especially in the black
You be
household.
worried about everybody
yes.
but yourself, man. It's so easy to neglect
And
it. But
look, self-care is the best care. If you can't take care of yourself, you can't take care of nobody else.
Exactly.
Self-care starts with you, mentally and physically. What can you do for yourself today so that you can make it to tomorrow?
Exactly.
And I think we often forget, too, that we are loved, even when we don't feel loved and supported by people. Don't let your family's values and the way you were raised and the beliefs that they taught you about mental illness to allow you to hide in a hole or to hide behind ignorance, because that's not an excuse anymore. There's way too many resources out there today, especially in Austin. Austin has way too many free services, low cost services, sliding scale services. Hey, if y'all need help, reach out to me. I got you.
Yeah.
But there's something out there for everybody.
Yeah. It's a conversation that needs to be had all the time.
Heck yeah.
absolutely,
It should be happening more often.
It really
Which is
should.
bullying's happening and kids are killing themselves behind it.
And younger too. Like the young guy, from what I read, he was gay.
Yes.
And he killed himself because he was being bullied.
Yeah.
Like, that's ridiculous.
And I think they said his family, he couldn't come out about or whatever to his family. But I mean, coming out is a hard process.
It is.
Total.
But 9 times out of 10, your mama or your daddy already know. Well, most times your mom.
True. But they be in denial. They know, but they don't want to accept it. I was watching Empire today, and I never watch Empire, and it was showing clips of, I guess, when the Jamal character got married. But I like the way that they show the views, because the views are very real. I mean, like a dad trying to force his son, you need to be this masculine role, and a mom saying, accept my son, and then he marries a man with a positive HIV status, and they want to spread awareness, and that's truly what mental health needs.
Yes.
In the black community.
Yes.
Awareness, prevention,
Exactly.
acknowledgement.
absolutely.
Can't sweep everything up under the rug because it passes on,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
and your pain is never just your pain.
Hey, speaking of passing on,
Every time he chuckles like that, I just get nervous.
well, I'm just ready to be done with this whole Trump era.
Oh,
We got
yeah.
a lot of people that have announced their bid for presidency. The one we're focusing on this week is Joe Biden. How do y'all feel about that? Are y'all on the Biden campaign trail? Or
I have a lot of other options in mind.
Okay.
But it's just nice to know that he's throwing his hat in there.
Okay.
And I've looked at the list of the Democrats that are running, and Biden, Warren, Camilla, is it Camilla Harris?
Kamala
Harris. So I feel like there are a lot of good candidates. My slogan would be anybody but Trump.
I think it's gonna happen. I think he's gonna, because like typically the incumbent wins their second election.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna be the first one in a while that doesn't win their second election.
Well, I hope he doesn't, because this is ridiculous.
The reason I'm curious about y'all's take on Biden, so it's known that there was a time when he was, what's the opposite of progressive? Regressive. There we go. There was a time when he had very regressive views.
Yes. Very true.
So does that change, or is a person allowed to evolve?
A person
can evolve, but I think they lie so much politically.
Oh,
You
yeah.
have to be real careful what you trust. But at the end of the day, the president is just a face.
Right.
I think that we really gonna have to stand up as a community if everybody wants Donald Trump out. If we want a better life,
people need to be and actually go out there and vote.
Exactly.
And stop playing with it.
Yeah.
Stop playing with it. It's not a game.
It's funny. I had that same conversation with some of my family members, and they were like, "Nah, once a racist, always a racist." And I was like, "I don't know, man. Like, I feel like that's true in some cases, but like." People change, people evolve.
Yeah, people grow.
If you haven't had, basically, for those of y'all listening who don't know what we're talking about, it came out, some footage and some articles came out that when Joe Biden was a lot previous to being the vice president, when he was a lawmaker, some things came out where he was against school integration. He was against kids of color being able to go to school with white kids. He was very vocally against that. And I don't know, like I think that he's done more to combat that than he has done. You know,
but people always try to dig up stuff
no,
in your
absolutely.
past to
Absolutely.
definitely
Absolutely.
discredit you,
Yeah.
and you know, to say you're not worthy of this.
Right.
This is why they shouldn't pick him. So like, I mean, if they really want to do it, I'm pretty sure everybody got some dirt on them. But I know that he wouldn't throw himself out there if he was not prepared for stuff like that
to come out. True.
Yeah.
But they only think about what they're putting out there. They want him to lose the black vote. Yeah. That is apparently we are the swing vote. We are we're what people are concerned about.
Absolutely.
Because our vote really does matter if people really get up there and do something.
And you put all the minorities together, it becomes the majority vote.
Yeah. Of course.
Absolutely. So those you know those small percentages in each ethnicity, they equal. If they all get together, they can control something. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's definitely something I wanted to bring up. I also keeping it on USA. I saw y'all had a very cool fact about Miss USA.
Yes. So for the first time ever in history, there are 3 black women simultaneously at the same damn time.
So
Miss USA.
Miss USA.
Miss Teen USA.
Teen USA.
And Miss America.
Isn't that beautiful?
Okay. All black.
3 black
women.
queens.
All black women.
So I'm not familiar with the pageant. Like, is it voted on? Is it?
It's like a whole. I mean, but it's like
it's voted on by the public, or it's like a panel.
No,
of people?
it's like a panel. It's a panel,
Okay.
and they do a whole bunch of
whole show.
Okay.
I'm not into the pageants, but it was nice to see our blackness, our beautiful blackness represented in such a positive.
All 3 of them
in a beauty pageant at that.
And then 2 of them, they was wearing their natural hair.
Our black is beautiful.
Yes. So we just want to say congratulations to those ladies.
Oh, most definitely.
And keep inspiring. Keep inspiring other women.
I'm gonna look y'all up on IG. Y'all better be bad.
Oh, but they are.
They are.
All 3 of them.
I know they had to be. Hey, another topic that we had, I want to get into this one. This is actually a really good one. Facebook is banning people?
Yes. They are banning people who have been deemed dangerous. Or people who have spread hate and,
Good.
You know, I know we all thinking,
like that.
I know we all thinking about one person in particular.
One person Trump. That they not banning.
Well, wait, so how is he not on the table for that?
Because he's the president, so he
gotta have a little more respect.
Yeah, he's
for him.
not.
But he
still
still has to abide by the guidelines of the app.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, he has people that type for him.
Yeah.
Hey, Facebook, y'all better, because Facebook owns Twitter and Instagram too, right?
They own Instagram. I don't know about Twitter.
Okay, so Instagram.
They definitely own Instagram because. And this is such a touchy subject for me because Minister Louis Farrakhan.
I saw that.
I have personally met this man.
What?
Yes, I have been to his house.
Louis?
Yes, I have been to his house in Phoenix, Arizona.
What?
He invited me to a listening party for because he has an album which has Snoop Dogg and just everybody on there. And I met this man. He is the most kind, sweet person ever, but because he has a big voice for the black community,
they want to shut him up.
The only thing is, I was looking at a lot of these people, and they all speaking facts. So I mean, I just don't understand.
I know. I don't know about the other ones, but I know Farrakhan has said some crazy stuff about Jewish people.
Mm-hmm.
I know.
I don't know too much about that, but I just know him personally as a person. So
I'm gonna just.
I know him personally as a person.
If nobody wants to say it, I'm gonna say it. It's one group of people in America, and when it comes to media and technology, you can't mess with. It's the Jews. Yeah. They got
all the money to back everything.
They are entwined top to bottom when it comes to media, when it comes to broadcasting, when it comes to things like that. They have done a very good job of placing themselves in the rungs of the media and entertainment world. And I'm not talking about in front of the camera. I mean, I'm talking about behind the scenes.
Yeah.
So no, you gotta be. I could see why they would come after him for that because he said some crazy stuff.
Well, I'm looking at the
Jewish
positive light. At least maybe that's a population of people that's less bullying, hate, negativity on there. But I agree, Farrakhan has a very powerful voice.
I think, yeah. To a degree, everybody can be offended, but banning people is a slippery slope.
Yeah,
like, it really is.
It is literally okay. What happened to freedom of speech?
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
What happened to that?
That was thrown out the door.
We're supposed to be America, home of the free, land of the brave, whatever. But you
president that talks about touching kitty cats.
And not only, but honestly, I mean, that was before he was president, but
don't matter.
No matter. He still say it.
I mean, but if we're talking about it while he's president,
but he says it on social media.
There have been things that he said that are way worse than that as president. True. I would think he would be first in line to be banned.
Well, probably when he
deactivate his whole account. Don't be scared, Facebook. It's because he's the president. I'm telling you.
Yeah, that's what it is. But cool, they fake. It's all good. Y'all can still watch Minister Louis Farrakhan on his website, and y'all can still order his. I heard they was also trying to stop from selling his books on Amazon, and I'm pretty sure it's not even just him.
They took that off.
But I'm pretty sure it's everybody.
They banned his book off of Amazon,
which is ridiculous. But he still got his website up. So I'm for you, Minister Louis.
I'm crazy. I want to hear the Farrakhan story because I've never known anyone that met Farrakhan.
Yes, I met him, and he is awesome.
Okay, I want to hear that. I want to hear that one day.
Everything. I'll tell you. I'll share it with y'all. Share it with the world.
Hey, we're gonna keep it. We're gonna keep it on. We're gonna keep it on apps and things like that. So one of our listeners during the week, like during our off week. One of our listeners made a comment about like iPhone, Android, or something like that, and I was like, "Well, let's talk about it then," because we're divided. Y'all got between the three of us, y'all both iPhone gang, and I'm Android family. No. So I'm curious, and we can break it down, or we could just talk. We just talk shit. It's up to y'all. But what made y'all? First of all, have you ever had a phone that wasn't the phone you have now?
Yeah. Yes.
So you had an Android.
My work phone is an Android.
So you have two phones right now.
Like Kevin Gates.
I got
So hold on. Why does your job see Android as a better phone for work life?
Because they're cheap.
Period.
I meant that in the most respectful way. But I know like some state employees who have
Let me ask you something.
An iPhone. So it's just I think it depends on the job.
Let me ask you something. If my phone is cheaper than yours, but my phone do everything yours do,
yours don't do everything mine do.
Exactly.
What's your phone do that my phone
fights viruses from right here. Yours don't do that.
Every phone comes with antivirus. That's not a foreign concept
Every
anymore.
Android I had done died from any kind of virus in the world, but this Android,
I've been ready for this conversation. He done did some research and everything.
Been waiting to argue about this.
We're comparing, this is an iPhone 8, 9?
10.
10. So we're comparing a 10 to your Android you had years ago.
No, my work phone is an updated Android.
Right, but I'm saying, if you have an iPhone 10, like the common argument that I get is like, oh, I had an Android. But I'm like, are you not aware that since you had an Android, you got the newest iPhone, but you're comparing it to the old Android you had.
No, I'm comparing it to that raggedy work phone I got.
like for instance, I'll give you a perfect example. I tell people all the time, Android brought waterproof phones to the market, right? So if I'm comparing my Android 8 to my iPhone 5, that's not a fair comparison. If we line them up right now, if we do iPhone 10 versus Android 10, or I'm sorry, Galaxy S10, because keep in mind, Android makes more phones than just the Galaxy. But if we line them up, they pretty much do the same thing, but one is cheaper. So I'm trying to figure out like why do we look at something and say like, oh, because it's more expensive, that automatically makes it the better product? Or
there are some people that do think like that, but I just really feel like Apple is just better.
I was gonna say my apps are way better on this phone. Okay. My camera is way better on this phone, and I have to take pictures on my work phone. Okay. Just my iPhone works better for me for my personal life. Okay. Period.
All right. Well, I got some facts.
Your facts.
I was gonna say here you come with this
facts for y'all.
Oh Lord.
I looked up a couple of consumer reports where they lined up iPhone X 10 with the Galaxy S10, and it's pretty.
It's legit. This phone done went swimming multiple times, and
it's pretty.
Still surviving.
It's pretty revealing. So let's just go with some basic functions.
Okay.
We'll start with battery. Battery life. Which one do you think has a better battery life, the iPhone or the Galaxy?
My work phone dies all the time. My iPhone got better battery.
Looking at this consumer report, the iPhone has a 2716 mAh. That's how they rate the life of the battery. And then the Galaxy has a 3400 mAh.
That's a lie.
Now, here's the one thing. Here's the one thing, though. What they're saying, though, is that the talk time is even. iPhone and Galaxy, as far as battery, if you just talk till the battery died, you get about 21 hours of talk time with both phones.
Yeah.
But where they differ is with music and video playback.
Yeah.
With an iPhone, you're going to get 13 hours of video playback, and with the Galaxy, you're going to get 20 hours. So I feel like in the terms of battery, we got to chalk it up to Galaxy.
No.
I'm just looking at the I'm just looking at the
No.
specifics, the consumer report here that I
This
have.
is where women we tend to be stubborn and we ain't trying to hear what you're saying. So no,
Definitely one of those.
So let's look at another category. Camera. Everybody want to talk about the camera, right?
Hey, this camera makes me a model.
All right.
I'm saying, right?
So both cameras actually have 12 megapixels. So megapixel wise, the cameras are the same. Now here's where they differ. The aperture, which is the thing in your phone that snaps the picture.
Yes.
The aperture size on the iPhone is a 28 millimeter. The aperture size on the Galaxy is a 26 millimeter. So it does have a bigger aperture in terms of that. However,
y'all pictures and videos be looking like trash though.
Okay, so they be all.
But I think that's because I think looking cross
It sounds like
the
you
phone
making
spectrum.
excuses.
Okay, perfect example. I'll have somebody send me a video from iPhone through text, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll have somebody send me a video from Galaxy through text. They will look different because I'm getting their text on my device.
Mm-hmm.
So like the iPhone video will look a certain way and the Galaxy video will look a certain way. I think device to device it matters. There are certain features and specs that are available iPhone to iPhone that are not available iPhone to Galaxy. So, and vice versa. There are things that are available Galaxy to Galaxy that iPhone, like I can't S-Beam to you guys. S-Beam is a feature that we have. It's similar to your AirDrop.
Yeah.
Like the quality of file I get on an S-Beam will be different than if I just sent the file directly to your iPhone. So I don't think that can be pinned on either side of the equation because it's crossing brand.
iPhone's still better.
I don't know.
iPhones are better.
I think
But you made a good point. But
here's what I think. I think when I scroll down this list and the fact that you guys said it's cheaper.
Who wrote the article? First of all,
Right?
It's a consumer report. So
Okay.
you literally it's just specs. It's not opinion. It's literally when we take the phone out the box and we look at what it does and its capabilities and we line it up side by side. In terms of functionality,
I feel like
I know it's not the hype beast phone, but in terms of functionality, Galaxy is kicking iPhone's ass. It really is. It really, really
fake
is.
news. But okay.
It really, really is.
I don't even have the energy for that one.
iPhone.
The way that work phone be
iPhone-
working.
Hey. But I'm pretty sure your phone is not an S10. The S10 just came out.
No,
so I mean we're
I just
comparing
told you they was cheap.
we're comparing the S10 to the iPhone 10. So I mean
Okay.
literally
Okay.
the newest Galaxy
Well,
and
let
the
me
newest
get a
iPhone.
new Galaxy phone and then
then
I'll let you know.
Agreed.
I'll run it back.
I'm looking at
I'll go ask
one
him
other
for your
thing. One other thing before we move on. I'm also looking at this storage. Right, out of the box, your iPhone X is going to come with 3 gigs of storage. Your Galaxy is going to come with 8. Out of the box. Now you can always expand it. You can get more, but I'm saying the base model out of the box, they give you more for less. You're getting more. Like the phone is.
Or you could always just download an app with more storage and just drag everything into that one app.
Hey, y'all want to know what
Dropbox.
y'all want to know? Y'all want to know what the price difference is? MSRP. Now this is like your carrier might give you a different price looking at like how they break down how you buy the phone. But MSRP iPhone X you're looking at about $1,000. Galaxy S10 you're looking about $800.
It's a $200 difference.
It is, but I feel like to get more for less is like that's like an underappreciated thing. Like you get more for less. There's nothing that an iPhone does that my phone can't do. Period.
Right.
There's absolutely nothing. There's nothing.
Sure.
Same apps. My
He's
pictures.
gonna argue us to death about this.
We'll be here
'cause he
all
wants to
I'm not
day.
trying to convince you. I'm just saying if you look at the stats on it, it's like iPhone just popular, but Galaxy. I'm gonna tell you what it is, and then we'll move on. iPhone was that pretty girl in high school who had the purple Jordans.
Lord.
When she had on baby fat
she had-
jeans.
yeah. And she looked good, but she pricey. She cost a lot. She cost a whole lot, right?
Don't do
And
that.
then
Junior,
Galaxy,
do not do that.
Galaxy is old girls like she the homie. She maybe didn't look as fly, but she had everything you needed.
I don't
But
think that
men
is a
never
perfect
want the
analogy.
homie. That's probably
Exactly,
why.
and that's why
They never want the homie.
iPhone is more popular because it's more. It's,
Okay,
it's
so
a
we
hype
can, we
machine.
can let the viewers decide and have that argument. But I'm definitely
I can
sticking
tell.
to my iPhone.
I look at our stats every week. More people listen to us on iPhone than anything else. So
Hey, it's that Apple Podcast.
I could tell. Yeah, I could tell. I'm talking to a lost crowd right now, but
Whatever.
we are very
nah,
foul.
they're lost. They're lost.
woke. Okay.
Nah, I'm just messing with y'all. But yo, real quick, I just want to couple last minute topics. I just want to get out the way. NBA refs, for the first time ever, they're doing live streamed Q&A. So that was something that I thought was really cool. I think a lot of the attention has been on the officiating for the playoffs. So the fact that they're coming to the board and saying, hey, we're going to live answer ref NBA calls. We're going to talk to people. We're actually going to open the conversation for why we make calls, how we do. I thought that was a really cool thing. The commissioner for the NBA right now, Adam Silver, I think that he's making right decision after right decision. He's enforcing the right things. He's expanding the league. He's making it, he's making the league a competitive product. And I'm really happy to see it. So if any of our listeners want to watch live Q&As during the playoffs, you can go to the Twitter page. The page is Official NBA Refs, at Official NBA Refs, and they live Q&A during games, during the playoffs. This is the first postseason ever. It's historical that they're ever going to do something like this.
All right.
And I think it'll lead other leagues to do stuff like that because
so, I wonder about that.
Everybody argue with the refs, and now you get to really talk to them.
So are the refs going to be standing on the side, tweeter fingering, or or this going to be like a group of people up in a little thing?
Yeah, no. It's not the actual refs from the game.
That's what I figured. Okay.
It's other refs.
Other refs talking about this is why he made that call.
Exactly. Okay. Yeah. No.
So that's all speculation because you don't know why exactly at that moment he made that call. It could be intent. It can be following the rules.
You got two people in between. So you got the refs at the game. Then, like you said, there's a center of people that are literally live streaming actual game time decisions. So you'll be like in the middle of that second group and then another group of refs. So
all right,
I think it's progress.
I'm to see it. I'm excited.
It's not perfect, but I think it's progress.
Yeah, smart way to bring.
For the longest time, refs didn't speak at all. So now I think this is a good progress.
Yeah, progressing with technology.
Yeah, absolutely. And also, while we're on sports, I wanted to talk about Tyreek Hill. Did you guys see this at all?
I did my research on it.
Okay, a little bit.
So yeah, like basically he's got an open case right now for a child abuse case. It's alleged that he broke his 3-year-old's arm.
Damn.
I don't know. Like I thought that was crazy in the sense of I don't think there's ever a time that's appropriate.
No.
Like,
no.
Even in disciplining a child, like I don't think that's ever appropriate. Like,
Well, when I looked up this information about him, period, it looks like he has a history of aggression, a history of assault, a history of domestic violence.
Absolutely.
Now he's taking his anger out on a child. It's like, does he have a power issue? Does he have a control issue? Or he just want to hurt anybody that's helpless? But isn't the charge also against the baby mama? It's against him and her. Both of them are being looked into for this child abuse allegation. Child abuse and neglect is what I saw.
They're going to, whenever something like this happens, they're going to look at any adults that are in the child's life.
Yeah.
But my question I wanted to see for y'all, one of the arguments that I've seen with this, actually a pretty loud argument, is that spanking or physical contact with a child is never okay, ever at all in any case. And like, what's y'all stand on that? Like, what's y'all take on that?
It's funny you say that because they just a research study just like printed this past week or so about spanking and saying that it's not good, it's not conducive to the child, it doesn't deter any behaviors. And we talked about it at work. We had a little debate about it, and I always find it interesting the opposite people's views. And then the way that they've developed as well.
Okay.
I'm all for spanking. I think there's a way to spank your child, and I don't think you should be whooping ass all the time because you have to talk to them. Yeah. They need to know why they're being spanked. They need to know why they're being punished, and they need to know how to make a better choice the next time. I think a spanking is just a negative reinforcement to like, you ain't supposed to do that.
Right.
But some people take spanking too far. Especially imagine a child that's been traumatized already multiple times, and then you go add a switch or a belt. But I mean, hey, my daddy had to spank us. We was bad.
I'm all for.
Okay.
I'm all for spanking. I mean, we got whooped.
We got spanked.
And we got.
Damn, I kind of wish we had somebody in this room who didn't get spanked. You got spanked. You got spanked. Evan, you got spanked. Everybody in this room got spanked. Damn. I kind of wish we had somebody in this room who didn't get spanked.
But I mean, I've had some friends that who haven't.
Opinions. I really do. I like to hear. I like to hear from. I don't have no. All my friends got whooped.
No. I have some friends that who have not. But the way that they talk to their parents are totally different than the way that I talk to mine.
Exactly.
And some of them are black. Some of them are, Hispanic, and I have a few white friends.
Okay. See, none of my white friends.
None of my white friends got
spanked.
Never
been spanked.
Even the white friends I have, they got spanked.
No,
I know very few, but there's a large group of them that hasn't been spanked. They don't believe in being spanked, and they are very entitled. Okay. They can be very rude. They talk to their parents any kind of way. They handle situations differently. Okay. Totally, so I'm like, that was an odd situation. Damn well in the store you weren't supposed to be touching nothing.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, that's another thing. Like, I don't think, like, at least with my parents, spanking wasn't the first punishment we got.
No,
spanking was like after.
You got a warning.
Spanking was like when my mom was like, "Okay, now you playing with me."
Yeah. Now
I'm about to spank you. Yeah. So
did y'all ever get the wall sits? Where y'all had to sit.
My parents never did that. My parents never did that.
My mama had. She was like, y'all gonna stand there with y'all's arms out.
My parents never did that.
Yeah.
Nah.
But my mama was
my dad was just like, I'm gonna tell you once.
No.
I'm gonna tell you twice, and then I'm gonna spank you.
My mom was a pincher. She had them nails.
Oh yeah, my mom
had like that.
Had to know when you be like, do not show you to stop.
That silent cry to yourself.
Yes. Let me be better. But I mean, I'm all for spanking. But I think there's a way to do it. I don't think you should be beating the hell out.
There definitely is. At some point, you probably taking out your own anger.
Okay.
And that was one of the debates at work. They believe that some of my coworkers were saying that parents are whooping while angry. And I'm thinking, I had a few whoopings while angry, but I also had a few whoopings where my dad would walk away and come back. And I'm like, he forgot. He didn't forget shit. He came back with that switch that was like an extendo.
Real quick before we move on. You know what my dad used to do? And Dad, I hope you're listening. This is some psychological shit my dad used to do. So it was 3 of us. My dad used to tell, like, let's say I was in trouble. My dad used to tell my brother, he would be like, when we get home, remind me to whoop Junior. And if you don't remind me and I forget, I'm gonna whoop you too. Yo, that's some crazy shit. Yeah. That is some crazy.
Remembered though. Yeah. Daddy Junior need to get a whooping. Tattletale.
Oh, that's some crazy.
Yeah.
That is.
Yep.
Yeah, at least your daddy forget. Mine didn't forget nothing. Hey, Daddy, he don't forget nothing.
My mom, when she used to whip us, after we done cried and done took that nice nap after that whipping,
post ass whooping sleep. Post ass whooping sleep is different.
She would come in. She was like, look now, I whoop you because I love you.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'd be like, so you gonna hurt me because you okay, that makes sense. All right.
In my adult life, I realized that statement because look at the adults we turned out to be.
Hello.
The ones that wasn't getting whoopings, what are they doing? Robbing, stealing, killing, filling, dealing.
Hey, if you don't whip your kids, life will.
Yes.
So you want to whip them from your parents, or you want to whip them from life? Life whippings hurt a little more because life don't love you.
No, sure does.
But
sure does.
I thought that would be an interesting conversation. I think we got 1 or 2 more things to cover. Hey, let's do the beard thing. I was actually curious. I wanted to hear about that.
All right.
Let's do that as our last topic, then we'll get out of here, man.
Okay, so there was a study done that shows that beards can carry more germs than dogs.
Dogs what?
Than dogs' necks.
Okay.
Ew.
Being that their necks, because the dogs really can't get to their necks, but they can get to the other body parts, But they did that study, and it was 18 men and 30 dogs of several different kinds of breeds. And it showed that all of the men basically was like dirty.
That's
and it was
nasty.
23 out of the 30 dogs that had high counts of micro something. It's a bacteria.
Microparticles.
It's a bacteria
that
is just nasty. So, I mean, me personally, I love a man with a beard. I think it is, especially now in this day and age, it's really popular.
It's sexy.
And
my baby don't got no beard. It's okay, baby.
Hey,
so
I'm trying. I know y'all see my shit. I'm trying, man. It's hard to grow a beard. It's hard to grow a beard.
Junior got about 100 hairs over there.
That big booty Judy oil. Kaleidoscope drops help the beard grow.
Hey, if I can suggest a product for any fellas out there, because my shit, I'm telling you, man, my shit wouldn't grow at all. But I got a little something now.
What is it?
Shea butter, the Shea Butter Essentials. They have like a beard balm. Mm-hmm. Boy, that shit will get your shit going. Like mine wasn't growing at first, but like it's starting to come out now.
But Junior, I heard that if you wanted to actually grow back thicker, that you're supposed to cut all of it off.
And I heard that, but I'm scared. I'm scared that if I cut it off, it's not gonna grow back. So I have not cut this. I'm sure if I cut it, it would. But I'm not taking the chance.
You know what I think why there's so many microparticles and whatnot in the beard? Because men are just not clean people all the time.
No, yeah. And there's a lot of stuff like food falling into it,
vagina juice.
I was going to say extracurricular activities, but okay, yes.
No.
All kinds of, and that's what it is, because men just aren't that clean.
Men need to realize how they wash their hair in the shower. They need to get to that beard too.
Yes.
They need to wash it, condition it. They need to blow dry it too. Do not go to bed with your beard wet.
And that's probably how they get mold and stuff up in it. That's how bacteria is growing.
Things in their
hanging out at night
and crawling out and just chilling.
Your beard should not be smelling like your last meal, my guy.
No, it should not. And it made me nauseous.
And if you with a dude or if you around a dude and his beard smelling, be real, tell him. Don't have him watch.
Yeah,
I love when somebody be like, "Hey, you got ketchup or something like be real, like tell that man like his shit smelling."
Well, secret, if you want to catch a woman, make sure you smell good.
Yes,
absolutely.
Women tend to remember scents. So if your beard smells good, she'll be like, "Damn, his beard smells good."
Saying, a man with a good cologne to catch a woman faster
than anything.
Yes, so
because we are sensual.
That beard needs to smell
you know why?
good too.
I'm real quick before we get out here. I'm gonna tell you know why? Because that scent go from your nose, it go in your brain, and it's getting lodged in your memory. All that, Lord. Yeah. No, they're not lying. Like,
or make you turn around like, damn, who was that smelling
like?
Yes, who is Zaddy smelling like that?
Right?
And that's terrible.
I'm telling you, baby smelling good. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, so guys, wash your beards. Please. Make sure you blow dry them. We don't need y'all out here dirtier than a dog. That's an issue for me.
Disgusting.
That's an issue because I know a lot of dogs that don't get cleaned that often.
Wash your beard and wash your ass
and your hair and behind
why
your
do we,
ears.
Why do we have to be told
brush your damn teeth?
That's so
and
gross.
floss. You need to floss, okay?
Yes.
I don't understand what's the issue with people not flossing, but that bothers me.
That's nasty too.
So
imagine all the things just swimming around in your mouth, just hanging out.
Y'all going off, damn.
You still here from yesterday? Me too. That's what's happening.
This is a PSA.
Y'all talking to a man or a boy? God dang.
Sometimes they start interconnecting the same.
Y'all telling them basic stuff. Wash your ass. Y'all like, dang.
Because some people mamas never told them.
Okay.
Yes.
And even if their mamas did tell them, they got grown, they got lazy. They like, well, man, whatever, not a big deal. No, it's a big deal, baby. Do it.
It is.
Take care of yourself.
You think you about to be laying up in bed with somebody in them little crusty feet and you stink and all of that? It ain't happening.
Hell no. Hell no.
We could go all day.
Hey,
not doing it.
Hey, before we get out of here though, real quick, I just wanted to say, like, with each episode, I'm starting to see us like touch new markets, and, like new cities and states and like that. Yeah. I just wanted to say shout out to everybody listening.
Hey.
Real quick, I'm just run down as of right now who we have tuning in state-wise to the Flexcast. We have Texas, Arizona, Georgia, Louisiana, Florida, Missouri, Iowa. Let me keep.
I owe ya.
I owe ya.
Let me keep going down.
Never even met nobody from Iowa.
I actually have.
And like there's breakdowns of like city. Like matter of fact, next episode I'll go into it more. But long story short, we appreciate everybody tuning in.
Yes, we do.
We see the audience growing. We see y'all tuning in, and we really appreciate it, man. And hopefully many more states and cities to come. I would love to look at that list one day and see all 50 states. That would be crazy.
That would be amazing.
Or maybe even some like overseas people, like because it's the power of the internet, man. So
don't be afraid to share our posts.
Yeah, you could be listening. Oh yeah,
send it to your family.
That's another thing. Like y'all just sharing stuff, like it's spreading organically. We ain't even really touched like creative marketing stuff yet. I was waiting for like second season to get into that or into the first season. Like we just wanted to see organically what we could do.
Yes.
Once we start like touching the targeted ads and things like that, it's gonna grow. But I just right now, just seeing organically where we touch is crazy to me, and I'm lit for that. So that's it for this episode, man. We about to sign off. Any last words? Anything y'all need to add in?
I think we touched on self-care a lot this episode, so I hope that everyone can take some of that home. Practice self-care as you leave here. Whatever that may mean to you, what is it? Whatever, just take care of yourself.
Absolutely.
We need more of that.
Hey, well, we out of here for this episode. Flexcast signing out, man.